Welcome to Grace Today, a daily vlog designed to encourage you and equip you with the Word of God. Let's begin. Well, friends, as we continue to think on what we learned this past Sunday from Colossians 1:9, where Paul prays for the Colossian church because of what he had heard about them, he says, "For this reason also, since the day we heard of it, we have not ceased to pray and to pray for you and to ask that you may be filled with the knowledge of His will in all spiritual wisdom and understanding." And there we talked about this past Sunday how our prayers should be primarily theological. Now, we've already talked about how they should be theological in terms of their nature, because prayer is by its very nature theological. To pray to God is to acknowledge who He is. But also the content of our prayers should be theological. It's interesting that particularly in a time when the church was new, would have had many needs, when the church was facing persecution even, Paul doesn't pray for their physical safety. He doesn't pray for their physical needs. He doesn't pray for their health and well-being. But first he prays for a knowledge of God's will. Now, that's not to say that praying for someone's physical needs is a bad thing, but it shouldn't come to the neglect of praying for their spiritual needs. We would all agree that our relationship with God is the most important thing about us. It's the most important thing about every Christian, our relationship with God. We have been reconciled to Him. So why would our prayers for people prioritize something else before our relationship with God? If that is the most important thing, it should be the most important thing in our prayers for other saints. So that's what Paul models for us here. He prays first and foremost that they would be filled, which implies that they need to be filled. They haven't already been filled. It implies the need of sanctification. So he prays for that by praying that they would be filled with the knowledge of God's will. Let me encourage you, friend, to apply this directly today. Spend some time praying for Christians you know. Maybe you want to go through the directory. Maybe you want to use just the people that God brings to mind to you. Pray for our missionaries. Pray for Christians in your family, whoever the Lord may put on your heart to pray for. But pray specifically that they would have an increased knowledge of the will of God in all spiritual wisdom and understanding. And see how that encourages you and really sets a foundation for the rest of your prayers for them. Let this encourage you today. I love you, Grace Community. I'm praying for you. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to the Grace Today vlog. For more information on Grace Community Baptist Church of Elgin, Texas, or how you can support this ministry, check out the links in the description below. See you tomorrow.